What's up guys, FuryTV here, and we are back with another episode of Poker Hands. Today, we're going to be taking a look over some of the worst hero calls seen in party poker events. Before getting into it, I would like to ask you guys to hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoy our videos, as your support is allowing us to continue posting videos on a daily basis.
Well, we saw a bit earlier it was a rough day for Luis Kamei, who entered the day with more than 4 million in chips, was eliminated at this feature table. Rough day as well for Tommy Jansen, who came in with about the same stack, and he has been eliminated.
Dropping like flies.
Yeah. Carlos just limping in with the Jack-10 of spades. Adolfo raising it up. Pretty small with the ace-9. Price certainly right for Hugo. Carlos, of course, in there as well. Wow, 9-5-3 with 2 spades. Something for everybody. Hugo with the pair and the flush draw. Carlos with the better flush draw. Adolfo, top pair.
What's that?
I just saw that Romero busted this from an hour and a half ago, so never mind.
The 9-4 suited shot?
Yeah.
Is it possible?
I heard about that.
Somehow see a three-way all-in.
Carlos the one betting, called by both Adolfo and Hugo.
Oh, okay, so Adolfo we didn't see. He just called with the 9. All right.
Yes.
And
King
Carlos
of diamonds on the turn.
Great
Yeah, gut
card
shot for Carlos. Does he continue to
What
fire?
you guys were staring at the 4-4 board for. You had quads?
What's that?
You guys, every time a 4-4 came out,
Yeah,
you guys were
like
laughing.
Joke, like
Yeah.
Fours, and then after I hit the quads, I literally just like shoved down pocket fours like 3 different times. And
Blast
like, the
off.
first hand of this table, I had pocket fours.
Will fire again, 375,000.
Oh yeah, you did. That's right. The 5-5 queen. Funny.
And that's
Action is on Adolfo.
neither of these guys. We have yet to see Adolfo yet. That's Hugo. Hugo's waiting on Adolfo to decide.
Now it's the opposite hand.
Adolfo did decide to lay it down.
So now it's on Hugo.
5 fours. It's just like river fours. It's like a dagger through your heart. It even looks like a dagger.
First, I told you about the hand in the day 1 of the Super High Roller.
Yeah.
Fours flop set. Guys barreling huge. Every street. Gut shot river. All of them call. Like, no.
Hugo calls. Another 3 on the river. Trip 3s for Hugo.
Well, this could be it for Carlos if he decides to pump it in.
Will Hugo check one more time?
Yeah, Hugo, if he were to jam here, we'll let him off the hook.
Mm-hmm.
He may elect to do that for the times that Carlos is just way too content to shut it down. And here we go. He's going to try and eke out a little bit.
Yeah, look for a little bit. Makes sense. It's 375K. And
what?
Carlos just snap called with Jack high.
Jack high again. He just called.
It's no good this time.
What? What just happened?
Flush. Huh? Flush. Pause.
Oh, he thinks.
Oh.
Oh, that's a brutal one. Thought he had the flush.
Wow.
That is
my
a
goodness.
Then go to work.
Get the money and then back to work as usual and try and run it up. I want to see who takes this table over, much like what we saw from Ludo.
Ludo, yeah.
Who's going to run this thing over?
It's been Fredrik so far.
Here he comes.
And it might
King
just be Fredrik.
6 offsuit, raise it on up.
Sam Grafton, big blind with queen 10.
Will be your Huckleberry, no
Not
doubts.
a man who's easily run over. He will defend. And he will flop a queen. Fredrik with a couple backdoor draws. Checks back. That's one of those backdoor draws. Now with the open-ended straight draws, the 5 comes in on the turn.
Yeah, now even when Sam does lead, we can certainly consider peeling with our open-ended straight draw. You can assume that the king's live. How about the sizing here from Grafton? I love this, 900,000 into 1.3. Two flush draws now present, which gives Fredrik a little bit more creativity if he did want to try and represent a potential flush on a variety of rivers as well.
Fredrik makes the call. Does not get there on the river. The river is the ace of hearts. Fredrik does have the king of hearts.
I'll tell you what, who has all the aces in this hand? That's Fredrik as well. See if Grafton decides that he would want to check and call a number of river bets here. This is one of the perfect bluff cards for Fredrik to try and rep. Grafton knows that. One would assume that if Fredrik did have a hand like ace-x of clubs, he certainly would consider betting this. How about a little blocker, 600,000, designed to hopefully slow down Fredrik, deny him from betting anything more than that if he did have a value hand. And now it's just a matter of, do we pull the trigger? Do we bluff this ace of hearts?
With the king of hearts in his hand.
The ultimate blocker. Clearly to the nut flush.
Instead, he calls with king high.
Now
Grafton
that
will show down the winner.
I didn't see coming.
Same.
Maybe just a bit of a curiosity call, but I would have much preferred to have seen him try and turn that hand in.
Just a taste, as you would say. Queen 8 of hearts.
Well, maybe
for Cale Burns, ace 8 for Igor.
Yeah, maybe the sort of hand we do find a 3-bet with ace 8, and if there's a 4-bet, we can easily fold the ace 8. I would have to believe. Although once in a while, maybe against a guy like Cal, we feel good about it. 2.5 is rather large
Sizable,
sizing.
yeah.
We may give up the Queen 8 of hearts. Something smaller, we may elect to continue, which is why these raise sizes are on the larger side. Look at this. Cal says, you know what, let's gamble.
So let's play.
Come on, let's go. And he has gotten himself in a relatively difficult spot.
Behind.
Completely dominated.
Going up on. You did that while working at your own stack, didn't you?
$5 million in this pot.
Looking at yours.
And it comes 9-4-5, all hearts. Burns flops the flush. Igor has the ace of hearts.
Certainly is decision time here for Igor. If we do elect to bet this board, how much?
He checks.
Is he going for a check raise? That is what I'm inclined to believe. Put the popcorn down. Tune in.
Goes check, check. Turn is a 7.
Igor wondering, what would Cal consider checking back on that board? Could he have maybe just a Queen X of heart? Could he have the King of Hearts in his hand? Do we still have him beat? And if that's the case, Let's give him the perfect price. Let's see what Cal does now. If I'm Cal, Jeff, I like just a call, and we are calling everything on the river, which potentially could be an all-in. Igor may elect to shove, whether he makes that flush, specifically when he doesn't.
There is that call. Biggest pot yet in heads-up play. Kurganov does not river a heart. River's an 8.
Could this card change Igor's plan? A one-liner now. Any 6 making a straight. Still have to be worried about a flush. And this is twisted. We know Cal likely to just move it in. Igor has an ultimate bluff catcher on his hands. Making that pair could be devastating.
Use a time bank, granting him an additional 30 seconds to act.
Cal taking max time here before he moves it into the middle. Suggesting to Igor that he's thinking everything through, giving Igor time to potentially come up with bluffs that he can beat.
There's the shove. Kurganov's turn to use the time banks.
You can see how pained Igor is. Honestly, whether he made an 8 or not, doesn't really change much. It will certainly confuse him a bit more. Yes, 10-Jack got there. Could Cal have 10-Jack with just one heart in his hand? Is it always just a suited hand he called with Bree? There's the call.
He calls.
Queen 8 of hearts. No.
That Queen 8 of hearts is good for a double up for Cale Burns. And just like that, it's now Burns with the massive chip lead. Wow.
It was a tremendous season. Obviously disappointed, but the future is bright for my Buffalo Bills.
And is that what you said right after the game ended?
I didn't say anything right after the game ended. I didn't say anything for 24 hours.
I texted Brenna, sorry man, that was
I did
rough,
not
and didn't hear
respond.
back for a long time.
I did not respond.
Slightly concerned. Chrissy B opens with the A6. Stockton calls on the button with the King Queen of clubs. Vogelsang in the mix with the 10-9 and the big blind. Comes ace 8-6. 2 pair for Bicknell. Kristoff with the gut shot. Couple backdoor draws for Previn Stockton.
I'm keeping an eye on Kristoff here. This seems like a layup continuation bet for Chrissy B. The original raiser, sort of a range advantage situation for her. Looks like Previn has exactly what he has, right?
Yeah.
King, Queen, King, Jack, something like that. Kristoff with some equity. Oh, look at this. You know what? As I speak, Preben understands that Chrissy should be c-betting here at a pretty high clip. This might change everything about what I was suspecting out of Christoph.
There are some appealing turn cards for Preben.
Well, now we're just getting a great price. 60,000, essentially to win 360,000 if we did call.
And you see his equity is at about 17%. He does lay it down.
Gives it up.
Another 8 rolls off on the turn.
A disturbing card for Chrissy B. For the times he might have something like 9-8 suited, or even just a better ace, right? We could be flatting the button with ace-jack, ace-10, maybe even ace-queen some of the time, and now we just got counterfeited. Preben, you have to believe his intent was to float and take it away on later streets. Well, you just picked up the perfect card to do so, my friend. Don't check there. Don't do it. He did it.
He did. He did check behind.
Maybe he thinks King Queen is good enough to get the showdown. I don't hate it. I would have preferred to see a bet there, followed up with another barrel on the river.
Kristen less likely to believe this bullet if it comes on the river without it coming on the turn.
Yeah, this is just
Can go block.
Straight block, straight value. Boy, how sick and twisted would a raise be here, huh? He's not going to now with that body language,
Right.
not with that face.
It'd really be sick and twisted now.
He may elect to incorrectly hero call here with just King Queen high. Considering the sizing, it doesn't look like a bluff though, does it?
He'll use a time bank, granting him an additional 30 seconds to act. Playing the hand in his mind. Kristen open pre. Fired on the flop, check the turn. Betting here on the river. Use another time bank.
Maybe she does this with 9-7, 7-5 suited, 10-7 suited. I just don't think so. I know it's the last level, but I don't like burning through 2 of my time banks with this sort of
Just
decision.
gonna say that if it's 85K on the river.
Yeah, I don't care for it.
Is he going to have to use another one? No, he does just make the call here.
It was essentially just worst case scenario. You burn through all your time extensions and then you pay the money.
Yeah. True.
Raise 26,000. Pass. Pass.
6 time banks doesn't seem like much. I mean, it's only 8 levels, so huh? You get 28 levels, you get more tomorrow. Yeah, I know, but you get 6 for 8 levels.
Call.
So you don't really use less than 1 per level. Yeah, and it's like 25 pounds. You get 30 seconds. You don't need that many. You don't need that many. Yeah, you're a tanker.
Call.
That sounds sick. I'm not even a tanker these days. As soon as they introduced the shot clock, I was like the quickest player out there. You're always sitting there like
3-3 deuce. Tom will take this one.
You have a 7. An ace. I need more time.
Flop strips.
Add an ace.
Wheel draw for Jonas.
Can't beat any of the pairs. Yeah. Why am I always in this situation? So this man would be check raising his flush draws then. Better and bigger. Tricked me.
Bet 30,000. Pass.
I was so mad. Just take a walk.
Raise 25,000.
Check raise from Vogelsong. Pretty small check raise.
Call.
Jonas Lock makes the call. Turn 8 of hearts. Tom liking what he has seen so far. 246K in the middle. Jonas with 239K behind. Tom checks again.
That check raise on the flop, I'd expect Tom to have Jonas's hand and not the
Yeah.
king 3. Check raising trip 3s on this board is definitely not standard and is going to put Jonas in a really weird spot.
River brings another 8. There's the lead for all of it.
Without pot size effective.
Jonas put to a decision here with the ace high. If he calls, he is eliminated.
Maybe thinking about the types of hands that Tom's more likely to be check raising, which would be like ace 4s, ace 5s, which would chop. 5-6 would make sense.
Some club draws. So.
Should scoop Jonas the whole pot.
Contemplating the call with ace high with his tournament life on the line. Another time extension.
Seen this a lot in the last 2 days. Tom just putting his opponents in really, really weird situations. He makes the call.
Does make the call. Calls it off with the ace high. And that will do it for Jonas Lock.
Cool hand by Tom.
His day 1B.
If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like, drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe for the best poker videos on YouTube. Make sure to also check out our previous video if you missed it, and let us know in the comments below what you would like to see on the next FuryTV.